the Elias game plan. I'm Anita Marks from ESPN. I feel that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time.
Peyton Manning won 5 MVPs. Aaron Rodgers won 4. Brady is among 5 guys that won 3.
Two gentlemen who work for Elias are with us today. And of course, that's Rob Tracy and Kevin Hines. Gentlemen, welcome in. How you guys doing?
Thank you.
Good.
Very good. Thank you, Anita.
And hey, listen, this is our inaugural podcast, our inaugural show. So, of course, we've got to kick it off with the news with Tom Brady. The fact that Tom Brady on Sunday announced on his social media platform that he is back. That's right, back in action. He's going to unretire, as if we all felt that he had retired before. I wasn't believing it for a second. And that he's going to come back and play for the Tampa Bay Bucks. So I thought it'd be a good idea if we break it down with some Elias sports nuggets, just to get the people a little bit more knowledgeable in regard to what they can realistically expect from Tom Brady this coming season. There are a number of bets out there, futures bets that you can make in regards to the Tampa Bay Bucks, assuming that that is the team he plays for. I have some reservations and also some futures bets on Tom Brady in regard to over/under passing yards, over/under touchdown passes, and everything in between. So, Kevin, why don't we start with you? You've uncovered some really great Elias sports nuggets to share with us to get people in the know.
Yes, thanks, Anita. Yeah. So as everybody knows, Tom Brady is going to be turning 45 years old this summer. And that's unprecedented for the most part in NFL history. Only 8 players in the history of the league have played past that age. Most recently, or the oldest being George Blanda at the age of 48 in 1975. The oldest starting quarterback still remains to be Steve DeBerg, who was an older 44 than Brady was last year, but Brady will surpass that this coming season. Another little nugget, we were looking up players to play in a championship game or a series for a winning team at such an advanced age across the 4 major sports, and we could only find 2 instances. That was in Major League Baseball, Jack Quinn with the Philadelphia A's in 1929 and 1930 at the advanced age of 46 and 47, and also Jamie Moyer with the 2008 Phillies at the age of 45, just shy of his 46th birthday. And then as far as Brady, at such an age, even though he's going to turn 45, he's never shown in recent years, a propensity to get injured. His durability is unquestioned. Dating back to 2009 season, the season after he suffered the knee injury. So we're talking about 13 seasons. He's played 205 regular season games and has not missed a game due to injury. He only missed 4 games, only 4 games. And that was from the suspension to the Deflategates, the scandal.
So would you compare him to Cal Ripken? Would you say that he's the, considering that the NFL is more a more physical sport, obviously, would you compare him to Cal Ripken?
I think it's a fair comparison. I mean, 13 years, that's a long time to play without getting hurt, especially, it could be a freak injury. Anything can happen in football.
And he was already injured when that started.
So is it the avocado ice cream? Is it the fact that he doesn't let his dog sleep in bed with him? Is it the oxygen chamber he spends hours in every single day? Like, what do you think? What do you attribute
I don't know.
it to?
There's got to be something to that TB12 method. I mean, whatever he's doing to take care of himself, I think it definitely helps. I think it helps his durability. I don't think it can all be luck. I mean, you just don't see guys playing to the age of 45 in the NFL. It's just unheard of. So he must be doing something right to stay this healthy.
Again, going on 25 years old now, very interesting, right, Robin? And I'd love to get your thoughts on this. When he made his announcement that he was going to come back to play for the Tampa Bay Bucks at that point in time on Sunday, because I know a lot has happened in free agency, right? So right. I don't know where the Bucks stand right now, but at that point in time, they were $3 million over the cap. They had 23 free agents that they had to sign or try to bring back. Obviously, since then, we've seen them lose some. And in fact, Tom Brady has lost 2 offensive linemen, one to another team that they signed with. The other, Ali Marpet, retired. And Tom Brady's on the books for $10.5 million. I think it's safe to say all three of us will agree Tom Brady's not playing for $10.5 million. So
Right.
that's why something just doesn't fit here. Like, there is a part of me, and again, I'm not reporting anything. I don't know anything, but a part of me feels that there's a chance he could get traded. Like, a part of me feels like, this is the Tampa Bay Bucks saying, come back. At least if you're going to go play for another team, let us get something for you. Again, my own personal opinion, my own 2 cents.
I would be surprised, Anita, if that happened. I really would.
Right. In the month that he was
know.
out, they were not actively looking for a quarterback. At least there was nothing reported on that, like the Russell Wilson movement or any other quarterback. They didn't, Tampa was never mentioned with a quarterback, which was surprising, even with the fact that he was, technically retired. So I can't imagine him going somewhere else. But
okay.
That means they'll re-sign fewer people. They're gonna have to sign them to $30 million at least. So,
all right, let's give out some of the futures odds that are out there right now when it pertaining to the team. Okay, pertaining to the Tampa Bay Bucks to win the Super Bowl prior to this announcement, 20-1. It's now plus 850. The NFC to win the NFC. 10-1. They're now 4-1 to win the NFC South. They were plus 110. They're now minus 200. So think about that kind of juice if you want to lay it. Brady's MVP was 45-1. It didn't come off the boards for whatever reason. It's now 10-1. His passing touchdowns over under 35.5, and his passing yards over under 4,699.5. Just some numbers to digest. Rob, tell us what you've uncovered.
Well, I just cannot imagine that he will reach any of those numbers. Just age. Yes, he did last year. But when you decide to retire, your body just says, okay, I'm done. But now you're coming back. I mean, how many successful retirement / comeback stories are there? Very few. I just don't see, with the way he plays and the amount of the toughness of the schedule that they're going to be playing, that he doesn't get dinged up this year at this age. He's thrown 24 interceptions the last 2 seasons, tied for the fourth most in the NFL with Sam Darnold. I think it gets worse. I think he gets pressured more, and we know he doesn't play well under pressure. So I find it hard to believe that, other than maybe winning the division, but I think they could have done that anyway, given how the other teams in the division have backslid.
Yeah, I mean, you make an excellent point, and one stat that I kept on coming up when I was preparing this year for the Bucs and Tom Brady was that he only has a 52% completion percentage when under pressure, and again, like I said, he's lost 2 offensive linemen. Now, how do they replace that? Do they make magic moves in the draft? Possibly, but I don't see him getting the same protection that he has had the last 2 years, especially how cap-strapped the Tampa Bay Bucks are. So, Rob, I have to be honest. It's like when this news broke on Sunday, and immediately I went to social media, I went to Twitter, right? Like, I want to get in on the discussion. And of course, you want a hashtag so people could find what your tweets are. And so I hashtag Brady, and an icon of a goat comes up. And I'm like, oh, no. And then I hashtag Tom Brady, and an icon of a goat comes up. And I'm like, what? Why is Twitter forcing the goat? I don't, and again, listen, I host Sports Talk Radio here in New York City. Whenever I say I don't feel that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, typically people call into the show and ask me why I hate him. And I don't hate him. I just don't think Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time.
Right, I agree.
I'll put him in my top 5, but I won't call him the greatest. I mean, what's your take?
Right, I agree with that. Like, it's, Peyton Manning won 5 MVPs. Aaron Rodgers won 4. Brady's among 5 guys that won 3, so he's not first there. Peyton Manning was 7-time first-team All-Pro quarterback. Rodgers 4 times. Brady 3, along with a bunch of other guys. So he's not first there. So
don't forget Joe Montana too.
Right, he won it 3 times. So the question is, what's the unfinished business? He's not winning 2 or 3 more MVPs. He's not, going to be named first-team All-Pro quarterback 3. He's not playing 3 more years. He's not matching the title numbers of some of the greats in the other sports, like Bill Russell or Yogi Berra or Henri Richard. He's just not getting there. They have double figures. He's not winning 3 more Super Bowls. So given his past and how he, like we spoke before, he got to play in the AFC East. In 2002, when they redid the divisions to 4 teams in each, he got the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins. And their record while he was in New England was 11th, 12th, and 13th in the AFC. Yeah. That's what he got to play against every year. So guess what? Their 9 Super Bowl runs, they got to bye every year. They got home games every year. They only play 3 times out of 18 games on the road in their 9 Super Bowl years. So a lot of
Rob,
luck.
you know what?
He's one of the luckiest guys of to ever play the game, because that matters. Circumstances matter in the NFL, and it's the largest team game. You can't just pick out one guy and say, "Oh, he's the greatest."
I wouldn't call him lucky, though. I wouldn't call him lucky, though.
There's a lot of luck involved.
It's a team game. I mean, I think
luck of the schedule. You look at luck of the draw. It matters. Luck of what
you look at, though. Yeah, so many teams. I mean, look at someone like Dan Marino, who went to the Super Bowl early in his career and could never get back. It's not an easy thing to do. And Brady,
but you're talking about him as one.
You're
talking about him as one player. He's not like that's.
Oh yeah, I know he's one player, but it is the most significant position on the field.
Almost year in and year out with the Steelers, they're one of the top defensive teams every year that Brady was there. Marino never had that.
Yeah, Marino never had, and take it from a Miami girl from the 305, grew up going to the Orange Bowl, watching Dan Marino play at the Orange Bowl before Joe Robbie Stadium. Dan Marino never had a top 10 defense, and only one time in the history of his career did he have a 1,000-yard rusher.
Right.
Yeah, they never had a running game back in Miami. No.
Right. So it's a lot of circumstance, a lot of luck. He just got lucky with the realignment. I'm telling you, every other division in the AFC had 3 teams better than the Bills, Jets, and Dolphins. 3. So those teams are.
You still have to win. You still have to win all those playoff games, though. I mean, yes, they got in position. They got into position.
Right. That's what you're playing home games, though. Every time you're playing home games. Look at the years they didn't get to the Super Bowl. They played road games and they lost.
No, you still got to win them, though.
I love this conversation, guys. You guys are awesome. Gentlemen, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Well, I'll throw in a few nuggets, Anita, on Tom Brady in terms of his career 1-loss record against the spread, something that viewers can take into consideration if they want to bet on him this year. Last year, the Bucs were only 10-9 against the spread in regular season, postseason games, so you weren't really making any money that way. Of the last 2 years with Tampa Bay, 22-17 against the spread. A little bit profitable, but nothing too profitable there. But I would say if you want to take Tom Brady somewhere, maybe as an underdog, and maybe there might be some opportunities this year because of the fact that they have a tougher schedule. You might see him as a dog on the road here and there, and his against the spread record in that case is 41-17, which comes out to 71%. So you might make some money there if you find him in an underdog situation this season.
You mentioned his schedule, gentlemen. We haven't mentioned, we haven't really broke it down. And take a look at this. Arizona, the Steelers, 49ers, Rams, Ravens, Bengals, Dallas, Kansas City, and Green Bay. That's who the Tampa Bay Bucs have to play this season. Listen, strength of schedule, the most difficult schedule heading into 2022.
Absolutely. So absolutely. Watch out. I was going to say the Cowboys maybe will do it to him this year.
Right.
That's my team, so like to see them put a little pressure on him, and maybe
like you said before, though, given the fact that he said he unfinished business coming back. If he's going to play for Tampa, he has to know that schedule going in. So that's a tough call.
Yeah, the biggest challenge is they got to make sure they protect him, keep that offensive line intact. Hope to avoid injuries to the offensive line. That would be the key.
Right.
Gentlemen, great stuff. Getting the people more in the know about Tom Brady and what to expect in 2022. Listen, for all of us here at Elias, we're really, really excited. Make sure that you tune in, especially throughout March Madness. We'll have more podcasts coming your way, so stay tuned.